G'day champion, how you doing? Welcome back to Murphy's Magic Stumped. Today I have an absolutely delectable episode for you cutie patootie. But before we get into today's episode, I do want to tell you about this week's giveaway. If you want a chance to win the Classics of Magic bundle, make sure you stick around till later on in this episode, and I'll show you how to enter that very competition. Now on to today's episode. You've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title, you know exactly why you're here. You're here to talk about absolutely everything you need to know about Magic in a Matchbox by Joel Anthony. Now don't fret, my friends, this isn't out just yet. It comes out this Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. West Coast time. Now look, I'm really excited to talk to this absolute legend. He's released so many awesome effects like Thought, Extraction, and the Slingshot. And of course, the newest effect, Wild Chips, which came out last week. We're here to talk to Joel Anthony, my friend. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. I'm doing it good. Loving and living life. You know how it is.
Man, you got to do it. You got to do it. 2 Aussies in a chat. This is going to turn a right so quick.
This is dangerous. Beau.
We're going to talk about Tim Tams. We're going to talk about, I was going to say shrimp on the Barbie, but who are we talking to? It's just you and me in here, baby.
Vegemite, mate. It's all about Vegemite.
Mate, we can see. I'm used to talking to Americans, and they say shrimp on the Barbie, and I carry around a prawn everywhere I go, just for that one little thing. But man,
you must get so much mileage from that.
Mate, when I pull it up, I'm like, I've got a prawn, and they're like, oh, put a shrimp on the Barbie. I'm like, no, mate, no. What are you talking about? But look, I feel like we're going to slip into our accents, and it's going to turn really fast. Really Vegemite driven really quick, and I'm all for it. But thanks so much for joining me, man.
No, of course. Thanks for having me on. I'm super excited to chat to you and catch up and talk about this, in my opinion, magnificent effect.
Mate, I love this. I've seen the trailer. I have no idea how this works, and that's straight up. I've watched the trailer, the performance, so many times. I don't know how this gimmick works, and I'm so excited to see it all today. But for those that don't know what Magic in a Matchbox is, and to be fair, no one does because it's not out yet, can you give us like a little elevator pitch? If you had 30 seconds with us right now, tell us what is Magic in a Matchbox?
Well, think of a coin box style effect. I love coin box magic, but think about the first Magic you ever got your hands on, or the first Magic that you performed. Most of the time it's, stuff from your kitchen drawer, the stuff you got lying around at home. So Magic in a Matchbox harnesses that energy and turns it into a professional prop for performers. So it takes something that looks like innocent everyday objects and creates a professional routine out of seemingly innocent objects from your kitchen.
I love it so much. I read the ad copy, and that's what got my attention. It felt like that classic, your very first trick you learn, and even in the performance. Actually, you know what? Instead of me talking about the performance, let's see a performance of it right now. Oh, I've got to roll the clip. Hang on.
Jeff, how are you? Good? Very good. I want to show you something. I've been doing Magic for a while, but before I had all the expensive cards and coins and props, I started out with my humble beginnings. Back in the kitchen, had to go through the drawers. We've all got that drawer, like the third one down. It's full of bits and bobs. I found this, things like a Matchbox and these washers. So you can check those out. They are what they appear to be. Just penny washers. Yep. Yeah. So I found out something quite interesting. I could place these washers here into the box like this, right? And when I'd snap my fingers like this, my empty hand then became full with a washer. So if one washer was out here, that means that inside the box, there's 2 washers. Yeah. Now, I know a lot of people ask me, can I do that magic? And they can, and you really can. Pick up those washers for me. I want you to place them inside there. That was very good. Have you done that before? That was very professional. So this goes then inside here, right? You can hear them inside, yeah? Now, this washer turns to 2 right there. And that means if there's 2 there should be, hopefully, just 1 inside the box. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, can you do it backwards? And Jeff, I can. I got really good at this. Look, if I place 1 inside there like that, and I close this Matchbox up, then if I take these 2 here, we'll take 1 and we'll take 2. So you can hear there's 2 there. If I just give it a bit of a squeeze, there's 1 there. Now if there's 1 there, then there should be 2 inside the box. Now, It's pretty good. It's not bad. I found out that I didn't actually need the box, so I could actually get rid of one. And these two, they're going to go into your hands, okay? So what I want you to do is take these two washes, hold your hand out, and close your hand as soon as they go inside. Perfect. This one is going to go here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put that in my pocket. And I think I have... Yeah, actually, we use this. I had a magic wand. I know it's nothing impressive. This is a spare match that I found inside. But I can just wave over your hand like this, and if I give it a tap, open your hand. How many washes do you have? You've got all three. It's good, but I didn't want to get caught because my parents didn't like me playing with matches, so I just snapped my fingers and everything went back to normal, and they didn't know any different.
Hey, that was phenomenal. How good? Yeah, baby. We totally watched it. It was really good. I actually really love that performance. Thank you so much, Joel. Now, look, I know there's people with questions already, burning questions. I have my own burning questions, but let's start way back at the beginning with a little bit of, I guess, history on this idea too. Like, how did you come up with this idea? Did it gather in your scrap drawer with all the other bits and bobs, or tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. So, growing up doing magic, obviously, I didn't have a lot of money as a sort of as a tween, as they say. As 9, 10, 11 years old, I didn't have cash to spend money. So, I was grabbing the old decks of cards out of the games cupboard. It's 32 cards, not 52 I'm talking about. I loved making magic with whatever I could find. And as obviously I got older and got into more professional props and things, I really got into coins and coin box work. And sort of fast forward to creating magic, as a lot of people, most magicians would even have just a box of stuff, like you start playing with something or coming up with something, it goes in your box of stuff and it just sort of sits there. And I love Matchbox magic. So, the Matchbox penetration where it's a solid block inside and even just down to like that old friction trick where you take two matches, put friction on one and then it shoots the other one off when they touch. Just stuff like that. So I love the idea of making like an empty matchbox become full and, maybe a matchbox change color. And I was playing with all these ideas. And then I thought, well, you know what? It'd be really cool if I could put some $half inside the matchbox and then use it like a coin box, like a slot box or a keto box or something. And I was playing around with that for a long time. And then I sort of got to the idea of how this gimmick works. Don't want to give it away just yet, but you'll see what I mean. I got sort of to the crux of this gimmick and the box gaff. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, I don't need to use $half for this. And that led me down the road of other objects to go inside. And yeah, it just sort of went down that rabbit hole. So there's been many iterations of this effect. And I think I've landed on something that it's sort of tried and true and gets fantastic reactions. Like the performance you watched, he's not a magician and he was actually there sort of hanging out and in a way knew how it worked. And he said afterwards, he's like, I was more fooled by knowing how it worked and then having it perform to me. He's like, it just, everything left my brain. Like I knew how it worked, but I didn't see anything happen. So and that sort of was the ultimate compliment when I did that. I was like, that's what I like to hear. So that's sort of how it came about, and that's sort of where in a short version, that's where it led to where we are today.
In a nutshell, I love that. That's so cool that he knew how it worked, but it's still so falling. Like I still have no idea how it works. And I know you said before we hit record that you're kind enough to kind of show us, but we're not there yet. We're getting there. I'm so excited to see how this kind of works now. I'm really excited. But now we've set the scene. We know the history. The mailman, the person watching right now has hit order from their magic shop and they hit send and the mailman knocks on the door. The mailman hands them the box. They rip it open. Can you give us a little bit of unboxing? What will they find inside their box?
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, you're going to get this. This is the packaging. So this is Magic in a Matchbox packaging. It's going to be taped so the drawer doesn't slide out. But I've actually got to give credit to my wife for the idea of using a giant matchbox as the packaging. It was so cool. And I was just thinking about what packaging am I going to use for this? And she just said, well, just use a giant matchbox. It makes sense. So yeah, obviously, big thanks to her for that. And then inside, you're going to get this lovely 2 matchboxes inside and a couple of other bits underneath, which I'll show you a little bit later. One of these is gimmicked, very ready to go. And the other one is, let's just say a regular matchbox. So one of them, you'll notice, has a bit of weight to it, and that will have the washers inside. The other one will be empty, and it will be, all ready to go. So one of them will be, I included as like a spare or for spare bits. But since having some of these sent out to some magician friends of mine, they've come up with tricks to do using both matchboxes. So, there's more than just what you see there. So there's going to be other ideas that you'll come up with both matchboxes. But the main idea was to have one and then have another one for either spare bits or, as you'll see in the tutorial, there's a few extra things you can do with that one. And then if you flip this over, if you're looking for the tutorial code, it's on the back of the giant matchbox.
Hey, there you go. Don't flip that over now, mate. We'll have everyone scanning it in. Now, that's awesome. My mind is racing what's happening in these matchboxes. But I kind of want to talk about, I know people are going to be asking, with matchboxes, the durability of it. Are there chances things are going to break? What's it like? Is it going to last them a decent time? Are they going to have to get refills? Can you give everyone a bit of like breakdown of how durable this product is and kind of like what mileage they're going to get out of it, if you don't mind?
Yeah, absolutely. So this one I'm holding here is the one I've been performing with for like literal months and just non-stop performing with this. So this is, and I'm not kind to my props. I'll be the first one to admit, I just throw it in my bag. It gets chucked in, with my drink bottle in, it's all just thrown around. So this is that. So it's a little bit, it's got these scuffs and things, but what I love about this effect is the whole point is that it's something that has just been thrown around in the kitchen drawer for a couple of years. The more you use this, not only the better it looks, but I think it handles better because you get used to handling your prop and it sort of will mold a little bit to the way that you handle it because it is cardboard. So it will sort of change a little bit in shape as you use it, but it actually makes it easier for you to use, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. The thing that people might be worried about the most would be the actual frame itself. Like that's still very durable because that stays in that rigid shape. The drawers going in and out all the time, but this is literally, like I said, months and months of use, and this thing is still very strong.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And then obviously if there's something to happen to the drawer, then you've got your extra one that you can just switch out if you need to, because the main crux of everything's inside here.
Mate, I'm literally watching you do this and I don't know how this is done. So you're holding it up and I'm like, okay, that looks like is that a regular drawer to me? Is this a regular drawer? What's going on? Oh, it's already so fooling to me. I'm loving every second of this. Oh man. I can't wait to see how this works. Just
to be, fully transparent, like it is cardboard, obviously, at the end of the day. So even though I've put this through the ringer, it's been squashed, it's been thrown around, it is cardboard. So it may not last you literally a lifetime. So you may have to replace it at some point. But as far as cardboard goes, this, I've made sure that it's rigid, it works, and it can be thrown around a bit. And what's nice is because, you've got the higher edge here, that's always pressing against the top. So that's sort of keeping its shape. So even if it does press down when the box is sort of halfway, it's still got the rigidity because that's now pressing on the other end of the matchbox. So, don't be too worried about that. And it will, sort of sit and compress. Like I said, it will mold to your performance style. Like I know some people might like to ensure that the washer drops, so they might put their finger on top as they're sliding the drawer out, even though you don't need to do that. But if you're doing that, it will just mold and sort of shape a little bit more to the way you're handling it. So although it's cardboard and it will last you a while, obviously it's being cardboard, you may need to replace it at some point.
Yeah, I love that. I think also too, if you are worried about storage and stuff of it, if you really want to take care of your product, you could always store it in a safe place, put it in a box or a little plastic container off to the side. I know a lot of magicians will kind of want to do that. So make sure, like you said, it is cardboard. Take care of it accordingly. If you want it, I personally am the same. I would love to look dinged up and worn. I'm already thinking about how I'm going to scuff up the striking bits of paper on the side so it looks like it's been worn and torn. I kind of want to look scuffed, so I'm all for that. But if you want to keep it crystal clean and tidy, store it in a little plastic box or store it in the big box that it comes in. That'll hold its shape and keep it very clean and tidy for you. I love that box so much. I love it.
I'm more mad that I didn't come up with it.
Yeah, I know. Your wife is a genius. Love it. Now, if that's all you guys needed to know and you wanted to know nothing else about Magic in a Matchbox and you're like, hey, I don't want to know how this works. I want to go pick it up right now. Well, good news. It comes out this Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. West Coast time. But if you're watching this from Wednesday onwards, it's out right now. And I'll even come back and put a link in the description. Now you can pick up Magic in a Matchbox for $48 and you need a skill level of an intermediate magician to perform this piece of magic, which we'll talk a little bit more about in just a wee second. Now, my friend, now, can you tell us a little bit, do you want to tell us a little bit about the gimmick, or do you want to release that for what you actually learn in the tutorial and how the gimmick works there? Did you want us to run through the tutorial first and how it looks? Is it shot in a studio? Is it shot in a basement? Is it shot in your grandmother's cupboard? Run us through a little bit of how this content looks when someone watches it at home, if you don't mind.
Yeah, man, for sure. So it's always been very important to me that tutorials shot very professionally.
Yeah.
Growing up, when I did start to buy Magic, was back in those days when, when you bought the trick, the tutorial was done in a studio with a backdrop and, it was all very, very much that. So that always stuck with me, and that's what I always wanted to sort of represent with my tutorials anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to a studio to shoot this, but it was interesting. It was a studio, but we said, can we use your kitchen area? So they were like, what? And I was like, yeah. Like, we're going to shoot in the studio bit, but we want the backdrop to be the kitchen that's attached. And they were like, oh, okay, if that's what you want to do. That was a very odd request, but they said no one's, booked the studio to shoot their kitchen. So it's shot very, very professionally, well lit. A lot of lights, though, like a lot. I don't think you know that,
mate. I love a good light. There's 7 on me right now.
It's the stuff where it looks good, but you can't see the camera. You can't see anything. It's just black.
Yeah.
So, no, it's very well done. And very professionally shot. So it'll be me, all the professional lighting, multiple angles. So when you need close-ups, there's close-ups, shooting on multiple cameras and everything. So it'll run about, I think it's about half an hour, 25 minutes, half an hour. And that goes through what you get in the box. It goes through how to use the gimmick, the main mechanics of it, what not to do with the gimmick and what will benefit you moving forward, how to sort of make sure that the movements will ensure that the gimmick does what it needs to do. Mm-hmm. And then also it teaches that main routine that you saw. So I threw a couple of additional ideas in at the end as well, because there's so much you can do with this. But to me, it was really important to give one routine out of the box. If you want to do a routine from start to finish, that's got a nice flow to it and a nice ending. That's what you can do. And then I wanted people who do have that sort of creative itch and they want to be able to get on and create their own things. After the tutorial, you're going to have like so many ideas, I'm sure, just popping out of your head, and you just want to go and create your own sort of routine with it. So I wanted it to be. And I said this in the tutorial, I want it to be as self-working or as sleight heavy as you're comfortable with. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm comfortable with a few sleights. So I made it, the routine you learn has got a few sleights in there, nothing too difficult. But also there are easier ways to do it if you're not, really confident using sort of like coin-sized materials. But yeah, it wasn't really important to me to make sure that you could make it as self-working as possible. So a beginner could do it. When I say beginner, someone who's at least seen Magic and been around Magic a little bit, but also the most seasoned pro can pick it up and run with it as well.
That's wicked. Because that's what you want. You want to be able to like start and then also evolve as a performer in the routine. So you can get a routine, like you said, straight out of the box and get into performing it and then adapt and grow and push yourself to like get more advanced with the routine. That's really cool. So, man, I kind of want to see this gimmick, if that's okay. Can we kind of see?
I'll show you the gimmick.
Yeah, cheers, man. I'm excited to see how this works. My mind's been racing. You've been giving like little hints and ideas, but I'm like, I still have no idea I still really love that big Matchbox. That looks so cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's awesome. Let me try and get this in the center.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
So so inside you're going to get the 2 matchboxes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, one of them's going to be completely normal. That's as normal as you'll get it, and then this is your gimmicked one. So I'll show you with my version that I've been using for ages. You also get 4 washers inside. I may not have mentioned that before, but you get 4 washers included inside as well. So, and then the other thing you'll have is an alternate ending where, once you've finished, you can even make a signed card if it wants to. There we go. Signed card jump out of the Matchbox. So
cool.
you'll get this piece, which is the false bottom, and then you'll just have to attach whatever card design you want to the back. So I didn't want to make it just red bicycle or just blue bicycle. So that can then go literally invisibly on the bottom, and you don't see that throughout your whole performance. And then when you want at the very end, you can tip that out and then do a switch.
Yeah, great.
And, have that there. So that's
I love
an
the
alternate
customability of that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I've just got some friends that like to use different cards, so I just thought, well, I'll just give the false bottom, and it's slightly bigger than a card, so you'll need to cut it down a little bit.
Yeah,
but it's exactly the same material from the bottom of the box.
That's cool.
Now this is the gimmick, so you won't really see anything even looking directly at it. I would more than happily I'd show the inside of this to spectators. Basically, there's another layer to this inside there. So that top of the box there is double thick, and there's magnets embedded inside.
Jeez, I'm struggling to see anything in that. That's insane.
So now,
wow,
that is stuck on there. But that also works from the inside. So I can place that in there, and then when I want to retrieve it, I use the Matchbox to retrieve the washer. So I'll slide it in there. And if I bring it out the other side, it's inside the box.
That's so cool. That is
so
to
make
cool.
sure that works. I'm not sure if you can see it there. It's tapered. The cut is tapered on the draw. So it starts high, and it comes down shorter, and then it's got a shorter end on this side.
That's so clever.
So what you can do is place, for example, you clean all this up. If I was to place 3 inside, so there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, I insert the short end. Now it's automatically magnetized to the top. So when I bring it back out, there's only 2.
Oh man, that is so cool. That's wicked.
So I'm not sure if you can see it. It's a bit hard to see on camera, so even light, but it's not disturbing the washer on the roof
until you push it through in the big end.
Until you slide it out the other end, and I'll do it slow so you can see it. It will drag it down. If I can get it to do it slowly for you.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Hard to do slow, yeah. But there you go. I think you saw it drop there. Yeah. So it will always, if you don't want it to show, it won't show. And when you do want it to show, it'll be in the drawer.
That's so good. See, I saw the performance where you're pushing it in and out, and I was like, what's happening when he's pushing that in and out? And I thought there was another drawer in there. There was something going on, but then it didn't look like another drawer. I'm like, that's so clever, man. That is so clever.
Thank you, man.
I love that so much.
I appreciate that. And it's got that real toy factor to it. Like you will literally spend time, like if there's 3 in there, you'll literally spend time pushing it in, sliding it out, and then there's 2. Like it's so much fun to do. But what's even nicer is, which I teach on the tutorial, if you put this in backwards and you're holding it like this, I've now deposited that one from inside into finger palm.
Yeah, that's sick.
Straight into finger palm. So now I can just be as free as I want to open that up.
Such a cool way to steal a coin out of the box that's still seemingly in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's so I'm obviously I'm not going to go into absolutely everything on that, but that's the
how it works.
The main. Yeah, and what's nice is, I think this is the normal one. The other normal box you get also is tapered. So if you ever need to switch out this drawer, you can switch it in with one. It's going to work out exactly the same.
That's cool.
And also, the other benefit to that is at the ending of the routine, you can make a drawer full of matches appear at the end.
Yes, like in the performance. That was...
Exactly. So you just take the additional drawer, you just glue in the matches, and then you can and then that way you can then have a final load as the matches as your final load, or you can then make a card appear if you want to go from an ambitious card or something into this, and then do a callback to a faulty card.
That's wicked.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's every time I play with it, I just think about something new. But some other things I've put on there is a reveal in the barcode, and there's also a free will out on the back as well.
Oh, dope. That's so much. You just put so much thought and effort into that Matchbox that gives it so many more layers to just that one routine.
Yeah, it's something I wanted, to have on the table, and then, maybe start with this if I talk about how I started with Magic, and then, sort of leave it off to the side, do an effect, and then, the reveals on the barcode right there in front of them.
I love that.
Which is nice. But I think there's so much you can do with this, even down to using the outside of the box. Like you can, because it's magnetic, you can then obviously place things on top there. If I was to put, like, for example, 3 on top of the box and then tip them into my hand, you've retained 1, so there's a 2 in your hand. So you don't have to just use it as a traditional like Matchbox, like sliding it in and out as well. But this is a really cool tool for those also living in the UK, because if you live in the UK, you can use 10p coins.
Hey, there you go.
So you can use 10p coins. They will fit, and because they're magnetic as well, they'll work just the same.
That was my question I had when I was thinking. It's not just down to washers. Anything that has like magnetic coins, you could use your own currency wherever you live. Obviously, need to test your coins, but you could also get, like, I guess, gimmick coins in your country too if you do want to use some that's not magnetic. But you're gonna have to find 4 magnetic coins or know which one's your magnetic one, right?
Absolutely, but that's also why I think I went with washers. I wanted something universal, not something that was country dependent.
Yeah.
I've got some magician friends that work with washers in their jobs, so it works for them. Or I just wanted it to be something that you could pick up and not have to over explain and say, oh, I've got these foreign coins because of this.
Yes. As we both live in Australia, the amount of times I'd be pulling out American quarters or American half dollars and saying, here's something that I learned when I was traveling in America, and then having to justify a different currency coin in a country I live in. I love the universality of this effect with just the washers. And it seems, like you said, it seems so organic, like you did pull it out of your junk drawer at home. You got a Matchbox with some washers in it. It just seems so very,
absolutely.
Very
like, I think, it's exactly what I wanted. And I wanted it to be, looking a little bit beaten up. Like if you see, one like straight out of the box, like it's crisp. It's, got those really crisp lines, and then you compare it to one that's like mine. It's just all bent up, and, it's the way I like it. I like to have my props, especially for this anyway, look like that. Yeah.
Well, it looks like it's been in the drawer.
Yeah, it kind of has thrown everywhere but the drawer, to be honest. The other thing is, just from a safety standpoint, just in case anyone's wondering, the strike strips are not real. They're printed on.
That's what's going to be my question. I'm like, do the strike strips actually work? So,
no, they're very realistic. Like when I first got, I'm like, am I sure these are printed? But yeah, these are printed on, and I just did that more from a safety point of view than anything else. But yeah, I think it hasn't, like, no one said to me, wait a minute, can I look at that?
Yeah. Well, let me try about that match on there. Yeah.
And as you would have seen in the performance, the spectators don't really want to go for this, because by the end of it, you're putting, or in my routine anyway, you're putting the emphasis on the washers in their hand.
Yeah.
So it all becomes about the washers, not about the box. And the box is more of an innocent sort of prop or bystanding prop.
Yeah. Okay? So just a vessel for the magic to happen with these washers. The emphasis and the onus is on the washers. That's what they want to see. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. I think, this is something I'm really proud of. I was telling you before we started filming, this is like my baby. This is something I really worked on for a long time. Just because there was so much I wanted to put into it. But the more I showed people, the more ideas they were coming up with. So I sort of took that as a sign of like, okay, I'm going to put what my favorite, strongest routine is and a couple of additional ideas. but people really seem to want to like run with it.
Yeah.
So, I want, like you said, something out of the box, something that people can learn. But I'm so excited to see what people come up with this. Like I said, I handed it to one magician friend, and he immediately came up with a like transporting washer from one box to the other, and I was like, dude, that's mental.
That's cool.
And so, and I think this is the type of thing where I'm probably going to get people fooling me with this prop.
Yeah, they're going to pull it out. They're going to make their own custom ones and have the teleporting coins, and you're like, this is sick. Where's this, dude? This is your trick. I love that. I can't wait to see what everyone does. The question is there any like restrictions performance wise? Like, obviously this is built for close up in the hands of your spectator. This is where the emphasis and where the majority of the trick wants to be performed. Will this work for parlor situations? Will this work for stage, TVs? Is there any like restrictions, or is there pretty much an all around?
I think I would say probably the only restriction you would have would be stage. And if you did do it on stage, you'd probably need to have a camera, like to show it close up, which sort of, in my opinion, makes more of a close up effect than a stage effect.
Yeah.
Parlor, I think it would work great because you've got that audible sound of the washers. And when you tip them out, they sort of naturally spill out and just show two. So it's quite easy just to see 3 small circles or 2 circles on your close-up mat. So I think in parlor, it would work okay. Again, depending on maybe your seating arrangement, maybe you need tiered seating a little bit just so they can see
a little bit better.
I would say that would probably be the only thing. Ideally, this would be best for small group close-up stuff. You don't really have any restrictions for like angles. Like even when you're doing, for example, that thing I was just showing you, or if you had one in there and you want to load it into your hand, there. So if that's in there and you want to load it out into your finger palm, you're still in this position. Even from this side, they can't see anything.
Yes. The only way they're going to see that if they're literally inside your palm of your hand.
Yeah, and I think you've got some other things to worry about if that's the case. So, so even loading that into there, that's done. Like they're not going to see, especially because you're just doing this for a quick second. They can stand behind you and they're not going to see that go in. Yeah. So, I think in terms of angles wise, like I would happily perform this surrounded. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think also too that that visual of it going in where you're literally palming it, you've still got that gap. You're not pushing the box completely into your hand. You've still got it hanging out a little bit. So that is also so deceiving. That's incredibly good. The question I want to ask is also reset time. So if you're doing the full Matchbox or the card at the end, if you're table hopping from table to table, how's that going to look? What's the reset time on that for people that obviously have tables close by that want to jump straight back into it?
Yeah, sure. So literally, if you had, for example, this would be the end of the routine. So like you would have that, like you've just taken this out, that's your full matches or whatever. Your reset time would literally be as long as it takes for you to put that in your pocket, put that in there, and then close it up.
So that was the 3 seconds.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's literally just taking the washers and the empty drawer and putting that back in the box. And that's your reset.
Yeah.
So literally, as you're turning away to walk to the next table,
you're done.
I mean, the washers are on the table in the end of my routine anyway. But worst case, you take them out of your pocket, you put them in the box.
Yeah. No, that's great. Literally, like you said, 3 seconds to turn and walk to the other table while you're tidying everything up onto the next table, ready to go. That's absolutely phenomenal. Oh, look at these absolute champions! You guys are the best. It's true. I've Googled it. Oh my giddy aunt! I am so sorry. In editing this episode, I realized that we didn't record the giveaways from that recording. So here we are to do the giveaway right now. But before we do today's giveaway, we need to find out who won last episode's bundle. So congratulations, champion. You're the winner of last episode's giveaway. And if you could DM me on any of Murphy's socials, I'll get that prize straight out to you. Now on to this week's giveaway. If you want a chance to win the Classics bundle, all you need to do is comment in the comment section below what magnetic coins or other magnetic objects would you do with your magic in a matchbox? Would you do it with the 10p coins, the washers as well, or alternate magnetic objects in your location? Whatever it is, let me know in the comment section below. Then on next episode Stumped, I'll draw a name out at random and you'll be announced on that episode. So my friend, good luck. Also, if you haven't checked out last week's episode of Stumped, make sure you do. Card on screen right now. It's where I go over absolutely everything you need to know about this incredible piece of magic. Now, I guess the question is that everyone wants to kind of know is the examinability of this. We've kind of already I think it's pretty darn examinable from the looks of it and the handlings of this, but are you worried about handling it out to spectators for long periods of time? I think it's pretty examinable from looking at it, but what are your feelings and thoughts on it? You've been putting this through the ringer. How do you feel this with examinability?
I think if you were to, and I have done them before, you said to them, like, can you push the drawer out for me, put the washers inside and close it. As long as there's not like a full box of washers, then you're fine. I think if you were to give them the washers and the box and said, check it all out, they're going to find something. Because, you've got the fact that it's not going to fall off the top of the box.
Yeah.
That is probably going to be a dead giveaway. There's something going on. But if you were to, I wouldn't hand this out and say, check this out. But I have said to them before, I put it in their hands and just said, can you hold that for a second? And I'll say, can you push the drawer out? And I would get them to hold the drawer while I take this back, or, any sort of time that they're holding the box as itself is fine. I just probably wouldn't give them the washers and the box together.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think there's any issue with that at all. I'm not a big fan of overemphasizing that something's examinable anyway, but the fact is that you're free with the item too makes it feel way more examinable. Like I never like to say, hey, check this out. Make sure this is a normal matchbox. Touch the matchbox and make sure there's nothing funny going on. I love the fact that you're putting it in their hand, which gives the idea that it is completely normal, which in all aspects of the spectator examining this, them having it in their hand or even looking at it, it looks normal. It doesn't look like there's anything funny on. Like you were holding up to the camera, like you said, like you wouldn't be performing it like this and holding up the spectator and say, look in there, nothing going on. You flash it, you show it all, you push it in and out, you have it sit in their hand. That to them at the end of the day is examinable. And I guess down to a degree, if you really wanted them to examine it, you give them like separate parts, I guess, too. Like you'd give them the...
So I'll always give them like the washers and be like, can you hold them to them for a second? I'd be like, I'll find those in the kitchen drawer. And then I like to pull them out in bits. So I'll never pull out like a set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like it to be like, I found some of these. And actually I found one of these as well. And make it very haphazard and being like, you
take the washers back, give them the box. Don't give them a chance to stick them together. But I think that's also really, really clever. Like, I know a lot of magicians do worry about examinability for that case. And that's just good for them to know that they're not going to hand it to them with the washers and go, they stuck. It's something for you to think about if you want it to hand out to your spectators. So that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a lot of it's in scripting as well. Like a lot of, for me, it's like when I started Magic, I found things lying around the house, like, like, and I always say this, and you'll generally get a smile or a nod or a laugh. And I always say, I found this in like, that junk drawer, the bits, like the one we always have, like the third drawer down in the kitchen, like, the one. And because we all relate to that, right? Like we've all got that drawer that we just throw stuff in, candles and whatever. So I sort of always get a laugh and a smile, and that sort of disarms them because I'm like, I've got this, we've all got them, like that drawer, I found it in there. Yeah. And that, I never really hand the box out, but you'll notice in the performance, I'll slide it out and I'll ask them, can you put the washers inside and close it?
Yeah.
So that almost in their mind, they're like, well, I put it in and I shut it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. I love every aspect of this. I've got no issues about that at all. And we've already discussed the angles. There's really the angles on this are pretty tight. And that's through the whole routine itself. You're not going to have any angle issues. Like you said, people could stay behind you.
Only thing that would be your choice of like coin vanish. Mm-hmm. If you want to vanish a washer, obviously if you're going to do like a French rock or something, you just got to watch your angles either side or behind you. I do teach like a click pass that I do on there. I just do a normal retention vanish. So I think it just depends on if you want to do, like JW grip or something a bit fancier, then obviously you've got to watch your angles. But then that's just down to a choice of how you want to vanish the washer.
Yeah, you know what you want to perform, you know the angles of that vanish, and make sure you adapt it to your performance and the situation you're in. I think the thing is if you are really worried about your angles with this, the spectator, for one of your fancy palms that you're going to be doing for this, or the steal of the coin or the washer, make sure your spectators come around in front of them. They're not going to see any of the magic happen anyway, behind your back anyway. So come around, step in front. No bit of audience management, and you'll be crystal clear and easy to go. I love that. I love that so much. All right, mate. Thank you so much. Is there anything that you kind of want to mention that maybe I've missed, or you think someone's going to ask questions about in the chat? Give us a little, I guess, sum it up of anything you kind of want to mention about Magic in a Matchbox.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, I think, honestly, the main takeaway that I want people to get from this is that, it's got that tapered draw, so it's basically self-working in terms of vanishing and appearing a washer. Just follow the instructions on when I show you how to work the mechanism. But I really just want people to go and have fun. Like, I don't mind if you don't do my routine. If it's not for you, that's cool. Like, I just want people out there having fun with this. Even if you just keep it at home and play with it as a toy, it's just got that real fun factor. And I think for me, this is like, I still find myself doing that, like, vanish, appear, vanish, appear. I just sit there doing that, like, it's just so fun, and it's really tactile as well. And you get that satisfying feeling when you feel that the washer has sort of magnetized up. Yeah. And it's just it's so nice, and I just think this is perfect for if you want to be as self-working as you want, or if you want it to be slide heavy. I mean, I know I'm a bit biased, but I love it. I think it's one of my favorite things I've created, and it's just great, what seems like organic magic with everyday props. And I want people to have fun with it. That's the main thing I want people to do. Mate,
I love it so much. I'm already very excited. I got thrown the term the other day, like a situational magician. Like, I know it's organic magic. Like, I would literally put this in my junk drawer. I'd have it in my junk drawer, and I have magic all around my house that makes sense to where it is to perform that routine on the offbeat and that creating a magical moment out of nothing. And I'd do the same thing. I'd be looking for something if someone was in my kitchen, and go through my junk drawer, and I'd pull out a whole bunch of stuff and then go, oh, these matches in a Matchbox. Oh, and then I'd have a couple of matches in there, maybe two, and take them out, throw them on the counter, and that'd make reference to the full matches coming in later. But then also the washers, like having that dumped out, and just an off the beat moment piece of magic while looking for something in my junk drawer. I'm very, very excited just to throw this in there and wait for the moment where I can perform this. I can't wait, mate. Love every second, every piece of this. So thank you so much. Everyone's going to have so much fun with this. I really appreciate you coming and chatting. And if you guys do want to pick this up, again, this comes out Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. West Coast time. You can pick it up for $48, and you need a skill level of an intermediate magician to do it. Did you have something else you want to mention?
No, I think that's it.
I thought you were mentioning something. I was like, oh no, I've cut him off. So
no. I think that's it.
Sweet. Well, if you do have any questions on anything you've seen in today's episode, make sure you throw them down. Not you, Joel. You're okay. You've answered everything here. You know everything about this. So for everyone watching at home, if you do have any questions, throw them down in the comment section below. Make sure you use the hashtag question time. So I know Joel will probably be checking the comment section as well to answer all your questions on this. I'll be checking as well. So any questions, throw them down below and we'll answer every single one of them. But I appreciate that. Now, Joel, I know you're a very busy man, so I will let you get back to your evening. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and chatting.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so exciting. I can't wait.
Mate, I can't wait for Wednesday. I'm so excited to see what people do with this. So thanks again, my friend. And I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye. Whoa, hey, whoa, what's that? Oh, you should definitely check out that. Oh, there's so much good magic in there. You won't regret it. Hey, whoa, hey, look at this bad boy. You should definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe, then watch that. Oh, it's a good day to treat yourself.